It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Wednesday show, April 9th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. Over 80,000 subscribers on that platform. If you are watching on X, good afternoon to you. Lots going on today, so let's get right to it. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to a good-looking individual.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Man.
I appreciate that. Look, it's definitely a great afternoon after you told me the money was up. So if the money is up, I'm all the way up. No, we're feeling good, man. I went to lunch with a friend of mine that works over at UWM. He had me up there. Got a chance to hang out with the guys over at United Hotel Mortgage. So it was interesting. A lot of money spent over in that place and a lot of steps that you got to go from place to place to place. But feeling good. Here with you guys, man. Ready to rock and roll.
Tom Masway along momentarily, but first do we say hello to Ricky Burns.
How you doing today?
Very, very good, Mr. Pete Spivak.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing fantastic. First of all, in a really good mood today.
I was just about to say your energy is really good today. I like it.
appreciate that. I agree with Ricky right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm feeding on some of that energy right there.
Yeah, look at you. What are you eating over there? A little
Some fruit, man. It's a little fruit salad you got going on right here.
pause.
Right.
Pause. I feel like whenever you have to go to the most dreaded place ever, which is the dentist,
Oh,
I feel like the whole process of the day before you get to the dentist is making sure your teeth are as clean as you can get them, putting in the most healthy things into your body that you can, all for them to tell you that you don't floss.
I love it.
Yes.
I love going to the dentist. You know
Really?
why?
I don't.
The only person in the world.
I am the
Please
only.
explain.
I am the only person
procrastinator.
in the world that loves going to the dentist.
Huh.
But have you stayed on it 6 months every
Yes,
year?
I do. But the reason that I love going to the dentist, the gas. I get the gas
got you.
every time,
Oh,
even
you
for the
request-
teeth cleaning.
Really?
It's not I'm not out cold,
Right, you just
but I am on
like
the
to
gas.
feel.
I've never done that.
My teeth sensitivity, one time, years ago, I was like, man, this really hurts, my teeth sensitivity. And they gave me the gas, and I've never not had the gas now for this.
Huh.
And I do have to pay
Really?
extra.
Okay.
It does come at a cost. It's
Okay.
not covered by insurance or
No,
anything
okay,
like
never
that.
mind.
No thing. You
So-
big money?
But it's not that big of a cost unless I'm getting a little bit of a discount, which I don't think I am.
Yeah.
But I never get so it is the best
You just-
Twilight
Yeah.
So-
that you could possibly have.
So here's a personal question for you.
Yes.
Now, on some of these days when you're not getting your teeth cleaned, do you find yourself at the dentist like getting some gas?
Please, let us know now, right?
Let us know.
No,
I'm
no.
I'm
You
looking
need
for
an
the
800
sign.
number.
that is not the case.
Right.
I'm
but
looking for the signs.
I did feel like watching the Red Wings game last night was a little bit like being in the dentist
You
chair.
did get gassed.
Because if that was not a microcosm of this entire season, I don't know what was. They miss a wide open net that would have put them up 2-0. Lucas Raymond misses the net on a breakaway. A helmet falls off, and putting the helmet on, leave your guy right in front of the net, point blank, scores the go-ahead goal. Everything about last night's game, Braylon, just spoke about where this team is for the season. Now, it's over.
Yeah.
The season is over, and even though they're mathematically alive, that was a 4-point swing last night. Instead of being down 4 points with a regulation win, they are now down 8 points. And I don't care what the schedule says. The coffin is closed on 2025. Is the coffin closed on Steve Yzerman? And I think that is the question today. I am not. In this conversation about the Detroit Red Wings here for a moment, I want to go on record right from the start. I do not believe Steve Yzerman should be fired because Steve Yzerman will not be fired, and I do not have the expertise. I'm just going to be totally honest with you right now. If this is football, if this is baseball, even basketball to a certain extent, I would have a replacement for you. Short of me having a replacement for you and the deep knowledge about that, I am not going to say that this man should be fired because I'm not qualified to tell you that Steve Yzerman should be fired. I am qualified to tell you that something is very wrong with this franchise. Something is deeply wrong with this franchise. Half the league makes the playoffs, Braylon. Half the league.
What?
And in 6 years, I don't care. And again, I don't care what the salary cap was, what draft picks you have. Okay, you didn't have 1, 2, or 3 or anything like that. Who is bogging you down in terms of cap space and dead cap and all that stuff? I don't care about that. What I do care about is 6 years is plenty long enough to be in the top half of the league, in my opinion. And this team has a lot of work to do, a long road ahead for this team.
Last night didn't surprise me. I mean, it sucks because I still think just as a Detroiter, native Detroiter, even though I said I know they weren't going to make it, it's over. You still have that little bit of optimism down in there. You hope something goes your way like it did last year for the Tigers. So last night killed that. This is a safe space, all right? We're going to call this a safe space for people that are for Steve Yzerman, people that are for what's going on, and people that are for not. This is a safe space however you want to feel. This is what I will say. If the general manager of if the president of the Detroit Red Wings name wasn't Stevie Yzerman, let's just operate from this space. If it was not Steve Yzerman, 6 years, you held on to a coach for a year and a half, too long. You didn't bring in the players that you could have 2 years ago. Now, you did go out and try to get the players, and those deals they didn't get done. But I just don't think enough has been done in 6 years, especially coming in with a cachet of a GM that has built it before. You saw him build it down there in Tampa. He's come up here, hasn't seemed to work, and the NHL hasn't helped them with the draft picks and the positions that they've been picking. But at what point do you stop making excuses? I love Steve Yzerman to death. If his name was not Steve Yzerman, I don't believe they'd be here. But also, it's like you said, it's not basketball or football, which I know a lot bit more about. This is hockey. I don't know if it's a 7-year process or an 8-year process. I don't know if firing Derek Lalonde and bringing in Tom McClellan, what they did, he needs another year as a head coach. So I'm of the mind where it's a safe space. Hey, if you want to allow him another season to see what you get out of McClellan, then I'm all for that. But at what point do you start pressing the buttons? At what point is it, okay, what you did in the 90s and 2000s is not how we're going to view what's going on in the 2020s?
You make a great point. Steve Yzerman is royalty in this town. Mm-hmm. Throw up any Mount Rushmore you want in Detroit sports. Steve Yzerman is on 90% of the list.
First, to be honest.
90% of the list. He's on a Mount Rushmore. This thing has not worked out. It is a results-oriented business. And after 6 years, to not be in the top half of the league, to even make the playoffs. It took 7 years to win a Stanley Cup in Tampa. They're nowhere near winning a Stanley Cup. We're just talking about making the playoffs, being a top 8, being in the top half of the league. It doesn't feel like you. Look what Montreal just did, okay? So for all the cap people, for all the contract people, for all the bad player and you got to weed out this roster, just look at what Montreal just did. And again, as a sports fan, you're not like looking at the intricacies of all this stuff. Did you win or did you lose? How long did it take a bad team to become good? How long does it take a good team to become great? Montreal is the worst team in the league 3 years ago in 22. They were last in the Eastern Conference, I believe, in 23 and 24, and they make the playoffs in 25. That just doesn't feel like rocket science. It doesn't. To a fan, it just feels like, Braylon, you're right. If Steve Yzerman's name wasn't Steve Yzerman, we'd probably be talking about a change there.
Yeah.
And Pete flashed up the tweet I put up last night. 6 years ago, go back 6 years ago, 2019. If I told you in 2019 that in the year 2025, the Detroit Red Wings would be the 4th best team in Detroit, furthest away from being a champion in their respective sport, you would have told me I was crazy and I would not have believed you.
Yeah, I'm not even a hockey fan like that, and I would have even said the same thing.
Because why?
Yeah.
Because of one man, Steve Yzerman.
Correct.
We had more faith in the front office structure with Steve Yzerman at the helm than any other front office in Detroit. I believe it was Troy Weaver at the time for the Pistons, Al Avila for the Tigers, Bob Quinn for the Lions. And in those 6 years, all three franchises have pivoted, have gotten it right. Their structures organizationally are, I would think, on a pedestal of each league. You see what the Tigers are doing, certainly the Lions, and even the Pistons now with, a first-year general manager and a solid head coach that has completely changed the culture. What are the Detroit Red Wings right now? If I asked you what the Detroit Lions were, you could tell me they're all about grit. They're the toughest team you're going to play. Yeah. They run the football. They're powerful up front. What about the Tigers? They're going to pitch you into the ground. They're going to pitch you to death.
Scrappy.
What about the Pistons? JB Bickerstaff,
Physical.
Bad Boys number 2.
Langdon,
Bad Boys Part 2.
have
aggressive.
Bad Boys reincarnated
2.
with a top 10 player in the NBA.
Yeah. All right, easy.
Who are the Detroit Red Wings? What are the Detroit Red Wings? 6 years
question
in,
mark.
you can't tell me.
Big question mark.
You can't tell me what this organization is. You can't tell me the style of play, who they want to be, who they are. You can't tell me any of that. And I'm shocked by it. I am shocked by it.
No, you're absolutely correct. And, but let me play the devil's advocate of the flip side of things. Oh, you got something?
No. I was
keep
just
going.
yeah,
Keep
just-
going.
yeah,
I'll
you
go
go.
after you.
No problem. I was gonna say play the opposite side of it. What did What did Steve Yzerman walk into? Was it with the West?
Hell.
And-
He
and-
walked into hell.
Okay, he walked into hell, put him in hell. So what excuses do we give Steve Yzerman? What do we like? 6 years, is that how long it takes to get out of the hell that was left to him by the Red Wings before that? Do you look at the do you look at the draft picks and how the Red Wings, when they were bad, they never got number one? They were 15 last year, 9, 8, 6, 4, 6, 6, 9, 20. Like, is that allowed to help him a little bit, or is it been 6 years and none of that no longer matters?
And can I just say, anybody that believes that Steve Yzerman walked into hell, and anybody that loves Steve Yzerman and wants him to continue on in this role will give you any excuse that you could.
Fair.
You talk about letting Blashill have another year. You talk about hiring Lalone from Tampa and hanging on to him a little bit. You talk about the draft picks. They have not had a top 5 pick or anything like that. They have not, won the lottery in a year where Connor Bedard was, first overall or anything like that. They haven't had an easy road, that's for sure. But again, in a results-oriented business, it doesn't take 10 years to get out of that in professional sports. It just doesn't.
I mean, look at the Lions.
Well, look at the Lions. Look at the Tigers. And yes, they've been bad for a while, but when this new, GM and manager came along, you get out of that quickly.
That's the thing.
When you look at the Pistons, a couple of signings here. Tobias Harris wasn't here last year. Tim Hardaway Jr. wasn't here last year. Malik Beasley wasn't here last year. And for as good as Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham have been, this team isn't in the 6th spot right now without those signings as free agents. Now, if you're Steve Yzerman, you're telling me, and I'll use basketball because I feel like I know a little bit more about basketball players than I do about hockey players. Where is your Malik Beasley? Where is your Tobias Harris? Where is your Tim Hardaway Jr. to pair with your Dylan Larkin and your Alex DeBrincat and your Lucas Raymond? Yeah. Where are those guys?
I agree.
I just don't – name me a team that has had the same general manager that has had 10 years to become a championship team.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was just going to bring up real quick, if you guys don't mind me asking you, because I kind of want to go not go off on a tangent. I just want to ask you something. If we're going to start questioning Steve Yzerman, obviously, like you said, he's royalty. He's not going anywhere. So what? I guess I don't know how to explain this because I'm not the best at explaining. Maybe you guys can help me out. You know how we discovered what the Tigers were offering Alex Bregman? the 6-year deal. My whole question is how much support does Yzerman actually get from Chris Ilitch? Because if we're not going to question Steve
not going
Yzerman,
to blame the owner. I'm just not going to do it.
You're not going to blame the owner?
I'm not going to blame the owner in this. I think you hire a guy like Steve Yzerman because you feel like he can scout, he can sign players, he can gauge who the coach should be. He hung on to Derek Lalonde at least 3 weeks too long. And, in those 3 weeks, if you pick up 4 points, you're in a lot better situation, at the end of the year than you are right now. And that was a big decision. He got no goalie.
I was going to say, not to mention, look, when they brought Steve Yzerman in here, they didn't bring Steve Yzerman in here because he was number 19 and the captain in 4 Stanley Cups. They brought him in here because of what he built in Tampa.
Right.
Like, him playing for the Red Wings was a major bonus.
Right.
He had built something that won 2 Stanley Cups out there in Tampa, so I think that's why they brought him in. The one thing I would remove the Red Wings from the other 3 major teams when you're looking at it. The Pistons got good. You know how the Pistons got good, Ryan? They brought some people in there that had some grown man professional sense, but they had a number 1 overall pick that we're finally realizing was deserving of the number 1 pick. You look at the Lions. Lions had Matt Stafford at the time. They come in, they trade Stafford, and what did they get for Stafford? They got a king's ransom while still having Jared Goff, so you had a lot to build, with. The Tigers even. Last time I checked, Spencer Torkelson was the number 1 overall pick, and so was Casey Mize, and you've added some pieces here and there. So that's where the Red Wings, the problem is, and that's why I want to focus on the draft. They haven't had a chance. I love Dylan Larkin. He's a Michigan guy. Go Blue. He played amazing in the World. Was it the Four Nations Cup?
Four Nations Cup. Yeah.
Four Nations Cup, he played amazing. But that's when you're playing alongside of also gifted athletes, gifted hockey players.
Great
where now you're Jason Tatum.
Right.
You're good, but you're playing along a bunch of people. It makes it a lot easier. But when you come to be your own Connor McDavid, your own Austin Matthews, there's just not enough help there. I think the draft has a lot to do with the Red Wing struggles.
I love you, Braylon. That was part 2 of my question.
I'm sorry.
No. That's why I love you, because you think like I do. But I might take it a step further.
Go ahead.
When do we consider trading Dylan Larkin? I don't think he's cutting it as captain.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask that tough question to you guys in the chat. When do we consider it? Do we consider it now?
So it's interesting you say that, because I feel like that is almost it's almost another story for another day. Gotcha. And not to minimize what you're saying, I think all cards are on the table. I just the story the story for me about the Red Wings is I did not expect this.
Coming from last year's run?
I just did not expect, just coming from 30,000 feet, from a 30,000-foot view, that after 6 years the Red Wings would be no closer to a playoff than they were in year 4 or year 5. In fact, I thought last year they were a little bit closer to the playoffs than they were this year.
Yeah.
Last
year, if they get in, they had a chance to win in the first round. This year, if they would have gotten in, they would have got smacked. That's to what you said.
And I have no answers for you. I feel like that's one of the what is the answer to the Red Wings right now to compete in the Eastern Conference? Is there one move that any one of you would make that Steve Yzerman has not made that he should make? Maybe that is your answer, but you're going to just trade your best player? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like, you're going to trade your best player
blow it up.
to do what?
Here's a question.
To be bad for another 3 years?
Yep.
Before you could figure it out again?
Here's a question. Season's over pretty much. Actually, season's over, but when it's officially over, Ryan, what's the first thing that you want to hear out of LCA as it relates to the Red Wings, not the Pistons? What's the first thing you want to hear from management, Chris Ilitch, insert Coach McClellan? What's the first thing that you want to hear from the Detroit Red Wings? The only thing.
Hopefully that we got the top pick, won the lottery or something.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to hear that they are determined to get this off season, that they know that urgency is a real thing. And I think that's one of the issues with I think that's one of the issues with this whole situation is you feel like when you hear any of these guys talk that, it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. Well, we had this and we've got to do this. What move would you make? Well, I don't know what move I would make because it's not my job. It's your job to figure out what move you'd make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the one thing. Whenever a general manager comes to the podium and says, well, what would you have done to make this faster? I'm like, I don't know. It's not my job to figure that out. It's your job. You're paid what you're paid to be able to figure that out. I can't tell you. I have this job. I can complain about it. You know what I mean? I can complain about it. I can't do your job. I'm not going to try to do your job. But I just want them to tell me that they hear that the fans in Detroit are not happy, and they're going to do everything in their power this offseason to make sure they're in the playoffs next year. I want them to tell me they're in the playoffs. I don't want them to tell me they're improving. I don't want them to tell me this is a process. I want to hear that they are going to make the playoffs next year, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah, no, for sure. If it's money, that's one thing. Like if Chris Ilitch doesn't want to spend money as it relates to the free agents in the offseason, if that's what it is and that's why they're not coming, then all right, then if that was it, then you have a cheap owner. I'm not saying that he is. I'm saying if that's the case. Because it can't be people don't like Detroit. Like it can't be. This is the Detroit Red Wings franchise you're talking about. So much history, so much tradition there in the NHL. This is a city that's coming back with all the sports teams. This is Steve Eisenman, who a lot of these young players that play, they know who he is. So it's not that they're coming here because, remember that was the excuse, well, I don't want to go to the Lions. They suck. I don't want to go to the Detroit Tigers. They stink. I don't want to go to the Pistons. Never said that about the Red Wings. So I wonder as it relates to free agents now, what is the conversation? Why aren't the free agents coming, or why aren't the triggers being pulled? Because I feel like when we talk about free agents, whether it's in the offseason or during right before the trade deadline, the conversation is, well, we really tried hard on some guys and it just didn't get done. I'm hearing that a lot when it comes to them trying to close guys in regular season and the offseason. What are the reasons why we can't close? Is it that players don't want to play for the Red Wings, or is it that the money isn't good enough?
And it does highlight, too, how difficult it is in a salary cap sport when you do not have top picks year in and year out, how hard it is to build a team. I just looked at Montreal's last 3 first-round picks. 22, they had round 1, pick 1. They did have a top overall pick. And then back-to-back years, they had 5th pick. It's not like they had 1-1-1 or 1-2-3 or anything like that. It was a 1.
Okay.
But it was a 1-5-5. First pick, 5th pick. And you make some correct moves along the way, and you go from there. But it does highlight in a salary cap sport where you do not have the benefit of drafting, in the top 5, how difficult it is to move forward in that sport. It does kind of put a highlight on that, and you are right.
Yeah.
The Pistons had the top pick in a year that Cade Cunningham came out. Not one where Greg Oden came out, and that matters. That does matter.
Yeah, it does.
And this organization really doesn't have anything to compare it to. When the Red Wings were winning cups, how did they do it? There was no salary cap, and they put a Hall of Fame team together, and that's what it was. The Lions, the NFL feels like you can get good quickly, faster than any other sport. The NFL sets you up for that. If you don't take advantage of it, that's on you as an organization. But the NFL facilitates you to get good quickly. There you go.
Panthers, 100%.
Lions made it to the playoffs after going 0-16. They made it to the playoffs 3 years later.
And Carolina, Carolina had all that draft capital the last couple of years and gave it all to the Bears.
It feels like they last point about just how difficult it is if you don't have a top pick. This is probably a bad example because they've made the playoffs every year, but it feels very Pittsburgh Steelers-esque. The Pittsburgh Steelers are like a franchise in purgatory.
Yeah.
They're just they've been
playoff purgatory.
Yeah, they've been
Super Bowl
they've been
purgatory.
too good to have a top pick. So they never get the real elite top talent. They don't have top 5 picks on their team. They don't have top 10 picks on their team because they're just good enough to make the playoffs.
Well, they get them at the end of their career
every year. Yeah, sure. But they're just good enough to get them in the playoffs. But that elite talent is not there.
Yeah, but the difference is still making the freaking playoffs.
Right.
We can't even get into the dance. Yeah. The thing that matters, the last thing I'll say is, and I agree. You said last year you feel like they're a better team. You feel like they took a step back. They definitely took a step back. They didn't make the playoffs last year, Ryan, and they literally just missed in the end by a game or two. You know who missed? Was it 20 games in there? It's their best player, Dylan Larkin. Mm-hmm. And they still almost missed the playoffs last year, to your point. There was no 20 games missed this year.
And they had a stretch in February again that is inexcusable.
Yeah. Yep.
What, a 9-game losing streak or something ridiculous like that. That
it was right after the McClellan started because he won a couple and then he lost.
Right, they went like 6-1 when he came on board, and then the floor came out.
No doubt about it. All right, guys, we are going to take a break, talk about some NFL news coming up. Also, we're going to play Hit or Miss, the Brad Holmes draft edition. And also, just a quick question as we go to break to talk about. Because of Steve Yzerman and how difficult it feels like this has been in building the Detroit Red Wings, does it give you completely sport, I understand, but does it give you a little bit more appreciation for a guy like Brad Holmes? We'll do that coming up next. But first, a message from Buddy's. Buddy's Pizza have been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, they have 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and fans can still visit where it all began on the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards, earn points on every purchase, and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's mobile app. Start earning today. Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10%. This is key now. If you're going to order Buddy's, do it online. You might as well save 10% on the entire order using the promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10 and then MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Yes, everybody, I'm here again once again to tell you, you know what you are watching. The numero uno sports digital media platform in all the entire globe. We have 6 options over there for you to catch our programming Monday through Friday and weekend programming as well on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Please become a part of our family. We love you. We hope you love us too. We will provide you with all the great sports content, and all 6 of these family members come be a part of our family.
Welcome back, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns. Braylon, it's funny because Tom Mazaway brought up Al Avila yesterday. We're just talking about the struggles of Steve Yzerman and draft picks and where this organization is right now. We're going to talk about Brad Holmes momentarily. We'll do hit or miss with Brad Holmes. What about a quick hit or miss with Al Avila? You want to hear some of these names? Where would the Tigers be without Al Avila's draft picks? You ready?
Let's do it.
Riley Green. Who?
Wow.
Spencer Torkelson. Jackson Jobe.
Okay.
Casey Mize. Tarek Skubal. Colt Keith. Kerry Carpenter. Jace Young. Bo Brisky. I mean, I would contend to you that Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize, Kerry Carpenter, that's the core of your team.
Yeah.
The problem with that, though, is baseball, you draft for 4 to 5 to 6 years out even. Your job is to maintain in the middle. Your job is to keep the team running in the middle, and that's what wasn't done. Drafting is pretty damn good. And after this season, it really can be good if those players take the next jump. But where was the free agency? Where were the other players in that span of time? That would be my question.
Pretty incredible stuff there.
That's crazy, though.
I mean, when you look at how good these players have been for the Detroit Tigers. Maybe Al Avila did know what he was doing on that end of things, though, and he gets credit for that.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, Brad Holmes, look, we have gotten to a point here and questioned lately, and there's no doubt about it, right? I mean, everybody is going to question your team when you lose, and the Lions got worse last year than they were the year before, and I don't care about the 15 wins in the regular season. That's fine. It is what it is. It matters what you do in the playoffs. And this team didn't win a playoff game last year. Hard to believe, but a 15-win team did not win a playoff game. Who, is that you sniffing like that? Or,
No, that's the blower.
oh.
I've been muting my sneezes.
Oh, okay. There is. I feel like I hear somebody like sniffing into the microphone, but that's the blower from the
the blower.
hair cutting salon.
But I was sneezing, but I've been muting myself.
Oh no. Okay. I was like, who is doing that in the mic? And just for inside radio, I wear this little, I wear this little earpiece.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Here you go. I wear this little earpiece, so it's like ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
But either way, back to Brad Holmes. Feels like over the years it's been an in Brad we trust. Questioned of late. Are we back to that now when you see truly how hard it is to put a winner together for an elongated period of time? So, Braylon, just to comment on that first and foremost.
That was me. Sorry.
It definitely was. I was counting up how many draft picks there were so I could ask a question because he's had a lot of draft picks, but my apologies, I was distracted. Where did you want me to go?
Just talk about Brad Holmes overall. The where are you now in terms of in Brad we trust versus questioning him?
Still Brad we trust. It's still in Brad we trust in the draft, the first round for me, maybe even in the second round. You got to give him that credit for what he's built here in Detroit, which we're about to talk about. But this is going to be an interesting year. I think as you become a better team, as your draft picks start moving from second overall to 28th, 29th, 30th, I think it gets tougher. So I think it's a pivotal year, much like last year was. Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. What are they going to be this year? What is Giovanni Manu? What is Christian Mahogany going to be? Those are some of the later round picks last year. This year, too, what does it look like? Like, once again, you're picking 28. You got some D linemen right there for you, offensive linemen there for you. Where does he go? So, yes, for me, it's still in Brad we trust. But I got a close eye. Like, I got a close eye. I won't be asleep in the first round of the draft this year. Like, I will very much be awake and be watching and be in tune to see what is the move and what's the process.
All right, give me some music, Ricky. We're going to play a
do
little
it.
hit or miss Brad Holmes edition.
29 picks he's had.
29 picks from 2021 until 2024.
First round, he's had 2.
I feel like you should almost. Well, I don't know. This is a lot. Go ahead.
No, you can rock and roll it. Is it? I'm looking at Brad Holmes' draft picks. He's had 2. He's a hell of a GM, but I'm saying, like, having what he's had, like, does it make it easier? Or do you still have to go out there and do it? That's the question.
Lions have had some pretty high picks in the past, buddy.
True.
How about Mike Williams at 10? What about Roy Williams?
And they had 2 first rounds.
Charles
in that draft.
Rogers.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
you talk about they've had opportunities in the past. How about we'll do this? We'll start with round 1 for Brad Holmes. You guys ready?
Yep.
Panay Sewell.
Hit.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Hit.
Jameer Gibbs.
Hit.
Hit.
Terry and Arnold.
Hit.
Jack Campbell.
Hold on. You said Tyrion was a hit?
Yeah. You don't think so? I mean, he had a penalty.
He led the league. He was second in the league in penalties.
No, you're right. You're right.
Let's put it off to let's call him.
Do you want me to not
Let's-
include 2024? Because
It's tough to include one guy 1 year.
Let's just say too early.
okay, 2024
Yeah,
we're not
that's
going to
fair.
include. So let's go back.
Too
Panay
early.
Sewell,
Hit.
Aiden Hutchinson,
Hit.
Jamison Williams,
Hit.
Jameer Gibbs,
Hit.
Jack
Hit.
Campbell.
Hit.
Hit.
5-0. I'm not including 2024 yet. We're
Okay.
going to say too early.
Yep.
5-0 in round 1.
And I think that's fair
Okay.
to
That's fair.
to those cats last year.
In round 2, Levi Onwuzurike.
Hit, brings
Hit.
back a noise.
Hit.
Like
Hit.
it is, it's a hit.
Josh Pascal,
Miss.
Sam Laporta,
Hit.
Hit.
Brian Branch.
Hit. Oh, come on. No, that's the steal of the draft.
So you are talking about 4-1. So in the 9, so that'd be 9-1. You're talking about 10 draft picks. Write this down, Braylon.
Yep.
You're talking 10 draft picks between the first and second round. You are saying 9 hits and 1 miss in the first 2 rounds of the draft
That's crazy.
in 3 years. Again, we're not including 2024 because it's too early to tell yet. 9-1. 9 hit, 1 miss
All right, got it.
in the
that's
first
crazy.
3 years. That is one hell of a track record.
Right.
Yes, it
You want to
is.
do rounds 3?
Okay.
Let's get it.
Aleem McNeil,
Hit.
Ifatu Melifonwu,
Hit.
Kirby Joseph,
Hit.
Hit.
Hendon Hooker,
Miss.
Roderick Martin.
Miss.
So in the third round,
3 and 2.
5 third-round picks, 3 and 2, pretty darn good.
So we're 12 and 3 now.
Can I go back and ask a question?
Sure.
I want to revisit somebody that I've lobbied for and supported for very much since we drafted him. Is J-Mo a hit?
Yes.
Yeah.
He completely makes the defensive coordinator game plan for him.
You moved up 20 spots to get him, and you gave up something in the process. Is he still worth?
Yes.
Is he still a hit?
I believe so.
I would agree.
He's a hit peak for you. You moved up 20 picks to get him. He set out 2 years. Well, he set out 1.5 years in totality, from injury to missed assignments because of other things. He's had some issues going on, been a little inconsistent here or there, but then came on strong for you last year and finished with his first 1,000-yard season in year 2022, year 3.
I hate this crap because I hate answering a question with a question. Is Jamison Williams on the wall of the average NFL fan who lives in Oklahoma?
Yes.
No.
I don't think so.
It's just a question I brought back up. I'm going to stick with hit because
Yeah,
of, like I said, the
same.
support. But I think it is a very fair question for those out
Yeah.
there that are like, we moved up 20 spots to get this guy, and there's
Hey,
been nothing
yeah.
but
That's all I'm
up
saying.
and down and up and
Yeah.
down.
When you say it like that, it makes you go, well, yeah. It reminds you. You're like, yeah, we did give up a lot.
Well, here's what I will say to that. Would you have taken Jordan Davis
Yeah, there you go.
Kyle Hamilton.
Jordan Davis is Philadelphia Eagles,
Yep.
big fella. He's a hell of a player.
Kyle Hamilton, hell of a player, but you don't have Brian Branch if you have Kyle Hamilton.
Is this
So-
hindsight?
Yeah, I'm just saying
I'm
hindsight.
taking Kyle Hamilton over J-Mo.
You over J-Mo and Brian Branch?
Kyle Hamilton is like the most freaky safety in the NFL.
Okay, I am adamant that Jamison Williams is a hit.
Okay. I agree.
I'm adamant about that.
It was more so for the people that
Yeah, no, I
like
think it's,
Maz still hasn't, even though he loves
Yeah.
J-Mo, Maz still hasn't made up his mind about J-Mo. So
our good friend Cody Engel brings up an interesting thing in the chat. Hooker wasn't a miss at the time. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
If you go back and talk about that, even if I know what I know now about Hendon Hooker and the Lions, I still make that pick. It hasn't worked out. It clearly hasn't worked out.
yeah.
For whatever reason.
But I would have still made that pick when Hooker came up to the Lions in round 3. I'm taking him every time. But that doesn't mean it's a hit. Just because you do, your process is right, your theory is right, but it didn't work out, doesn't make it a hit. It's still a miss.
I got something for you, Cody. I love that question. I got something for you. Jack Campbell wasn't a hit when we drafted him. I very much thought that he was
There
a
you go.
miss.
That's
100%. I didn't like the style of linebacker that he was. He's much taller than linebackers today. He's much slower than linebackers today. I was like, that's a miss. His play on the field, he's been there. He's been lights out. When Alex Anzalone missed,
Right.
he stepped up. He filled in.
stepped
So
up.
I thought he was a miss at first. He's very much a hit now.
All right. There have been, and again, we are not doing 2024. Just
Right.
don't think it's fair to those guys.
Right.
With 1 year or an incomplete, hell, Ennis Rakestraw still hasn't even played. But exactly. So we're not. We're
Yeah,
just
change his
looking at.
number.
We're just looking at Brad Holmes' draft picks.
Sione Vaki is a hit. I get it.
We're just looking at Brad Holmes' draft picks 21, 22, 23, and not in 24, just to show a track record. Right now, we have 9 hits and 1 miss in rounds 1 and 2. If you add round 3 in there, we've got 12 hits, 3 misses. 12 and 3, 12 hits in 15 picks in rounds 1 through 3.
I'm gonna say something. You tell me if you agree with it. I don't think you do past the 5th or past the 4th round or hit or miss.
Okay, fine.
Because I'm like, if you get to the,
Deal.
am I really judging somebody's 6th, 5th, 6th round? Maybe
Right.
Fine, but let me take the 4th rounder.
Well, I know where you're going with that.
Let me take the 4th. Let me add
Oh,
the 4th.
yeah.
There's
I got
a
something for
4th
you next,
rounders.
though.
But 4th round picks for Brad Holmes. Now, he had a couple in 24. Again, not judging them yet. But in years 2021, 2022, and 2023, the Lions have had 2 4th round picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Hit.
Derek
miss.
Barnes.
Hit. Both hits.
So if you add rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Brad Holmes in years 21, 22, and 23, that hit or miss in 17 draft picks
Crazy.
is 14 and 3. That is freaking credible.
That has
17 picks, rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4 in years 21, 22, 23. 14 hits, 3 misses.
wow. That
That's
has
how
to
you-
be historic, doesn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's how you get a franchise started. The only thing I can think about is the 70s Steelers because they drafted all those guys in one draft. But that's amazing. And that's the question you asked. You said, like, do you let Brad Holmes cook? Do you trust Brad Holmes cooking? Yeah, because this is what it is. And obviously, they're still picking later. We'll see. But this is what he's giving you. Here's some fun. I got my top 10 draft picks by Brad Holmes in this order.
There you go. Can I just read this?
Please.
Can we all agree that Tyler Holton is nuts and needs to be extended? What he just did in the top of the 6th inning is something you don't see all the time. Tigers in action against the Yankees going for the sweep right now. Tyler Holton just had a big hold in the top of the 6th inning. We'll get to that momentarily. But in the top of the 6th, Judge walked, got to 3rd, Goldschmidt. So there was runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Got Chisholm to ground into a fielder's choice to the pitcher. So Judge was thrown out at home, and then Volpe struck out. Pretty incredible stuff, Tyler Holton. Sorry, Braylon. Go for it.
No apologies necessary. I appreciate that. Appreciate that update. All right, here we go. Honorable mention, Terry and Arnold. We just talked about it. I think there's something there. lot there, but honorable mention, not enough to be proven. We will see this year. Let's get rocking and rolling. Number 10, I'm going Jack Campbell. I think Jack Campbell, in terms of the best pick so far by Brad Holmes, I'm going Jack Campbell. He was the 18th pick in the 2023 draft in the first round. I think his play on the field has been substantial. I think he owns the 10th spot for me. Number 9, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with, I had it on here. Sam Laporte at tight end.
That was some thinking music, Ricky.
That was
some thinking music.
Pause. That was a wonderful
Wow.
pause.
I wrote the numbers.
That was incredible, man. That was some
Great
thinking
pause.
music.
Great job, Sam
Wow.
Laporte. Great job. Season 1 last year, not so much figuring it out. Injuries will do that to you, but I think he figures it out this year again. He's at number 9. Number 8, Le'Veon Enrique. I like what he's done. For
Player been injured, but good player.
100%. He's showing you he's showing you he's worth the contract. He's showing you he deserves to be here. So I hope he's healthy. This could be a big year for him. Number 7, give me J-Mo. They moved up 20 picks, and I know he's at 1,000 yards and 4.2 and all this, but they moved up 20 picks to get him. So I can't put him any higher on this list than 7. Big year coming out of J-Mo. I say it right now. 1385, 18 yards per catch, and he's going to have 12 touchdowns.
It's a big year for him, though,
It
too.
is.
You know what I mean? It's a big year. You talk about all of the work that these pro athletes, do to get to the NFL, then perform in the NFL, and then you're in a contract year. This is the biggest year of Jameson Williams' life, really. And maybe you can even go back a couple of years ago because he had a choice to make. Did he want to go this way or go this way when he was suspended and injured? And he chose to go up. He contributed for this team. It feels like Jameson Williams, to me, is ready to just even break out even more than he already has. I am rooting for him. I think he is going to get paid by either the Lions or somebody else next year. You see, what do you think if Jameson Williams is a free agent this year? What do you think he would have gotten from a team like New England? I mean,
28.
People are desperate for wide receivers. It just goes to show you how important that position is to offense right now. And not just one, you need 2.
Plus, it's not just desperation because he is like that. Like Jameson Williams was like that in college, and he's starting to show you in the NFL again that he's going to be like that. The biggest reason why it's his year, there's no more excuses, Ryan. Like, this is the year, no excuse. There's no excuses talking about you're young. There's no excuses where you need Amon-Ra of St. Brown to do this for you. There's no excuses you didn't know you should be here. You didn't know you should be doing that. There's no excuses for that. This is the year that you have to put it all together. Fans don't want any more excuses. Your family doesn't want any more excuses. You shouldn't want any more excuses. I think that's why it's going to be a major year for him, and I think he's going to live up to it.
No doubt.
Big year for him.
I love it.
Number 6, Kirby Joseph. Speaking of payday, he's about to get paid. Third round draft at 97.
Isn't he just an attitude guy?
Pick overall. Attitude with some skill behind it. It's attitude with some skill behind it. Like savvy. He's like a savvy aggressive type. Like he's sneaky and pull you in, and then he does what.
Let me ask you a football question about Kirby Joseph. Not that we're on first names.
Kirby?
We're on first. Not that he and I are on first name basis, but I feel like whatever.
Curbster.
Who's the God? Of course, I'm having a mental lapse right now. The player for Diggs for the Dallas Cowboys.
Stephon Diggs.
No.
His brother.
Trayvon
Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs' interceptions masked how bad he was in the field. He was on coverage rates one of the worst corners in the league, but because of all those picks that he has, it kind of masks that part of it. Do you get a sense that Kirby Joseph's interceptions, the number of interceptions, matches his impact when he doesn't have an interception back there in the defensive backfield? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not explaining it properly.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I'm glad you asked this question. Last year during the season, remember he was an interception every game and I love this guy. Kirby is the best. And what did I say? I was like, I ain't seen it yet. So I know exactly what you're asking. The interceptions, they don't matter in the grand scheme of things how good a player is. I think in the beginning, Kirby was just a dude that could pick the ball up. I think he's physical, but I think he was a guy, he can get to the ball. He has a knack for finding the ball. Some people like that. Ed Reed, who he was compared to statistically wise, he's just like that. I played against Ed. Ed knows where the ball is. Kirby Joseph is the same. But there were lapses in effort. There were lapses in communication. There were lapses in, once again, effort wanting to his first 2 years in the league. Last year, I saw him take that next step. So it's not just he led the league in interceptions, but oh, by the way, he's not doing this, that, and the third. He was finishing tackles. He became one of the best he became one of the best tackling safeties in the league last year. He was leading that defense. When the moment was big, like in basketball, when you need a three-pointer, when the moment was big, you would see Kirby Joseph make a play. And it wasn't always an interception. So I feel like the last half of that season last year, he took the steps that it's not just interceptions with him anymore, because you also got to think about it. Trayvon Diggs played on a defensive line that has Micah Parsons and Lawrence and really good, so it's easy to cherry pick. Like, that defensive line wasn't like that last year.
Right.
It wasn't like that for Kirby Joseph, and neither was it like that his first year. So I think he is coming to his own as a complete player, and I don't think it's just interceptions anymore. But going into the season, I would have agreed with you. I got to see it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So now we're moving into the top 5?
We are top 5. That was number 6. Who you think number 5 is, man?
Oh, God. I can't think.
Jeez.
Ali McNeil?
Aleem McNeil is 8.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I said Le'Veon Enrique. Aleem McNeil was 8.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know I threw you guys.
Come on, man.
We all don't look alike, sir.
Come on, man. Okay, fine.
I put the number by the wrong. It's super tight.
God.
So no, Aleem
That's
McNeil would have been 8. Le'Veon
my
Enrique not
God.
on this list.
Jeez,
He's not even on the list.
No, he's on the list, but I'm saying he's not top 10.
Oh, God.
Levi's not top 10. My apologies. Can I get my do-over? Number 8. No, number 5 is Brian Branch.
Okay.
All right.
Number 5 is Brian Branch. Maz tells the story better than anybody. You know, he thought he was going in the first round. Should have gone in the first round, but he stayed to walk that stage for the Detroit Lions round 2, and he has been every bit electric. First game, pick 6. What are we talking about? Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Number 4.
He belongs in that top 5.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that does everything for you. He's a guy, you see a lot of 32 jerseys around, and he is still 32, right?
Yeah, right.
Maybe this
You're going to be
year.
nervous.
Now, I will
Right.
say
Let's
something.
take a look.
And this is no disrespect to Kirby Joseph, because I saw the same thing with Earl and Bam Bam Cam. Brian Branch did help Kirby Joseph get better. He definitely, iron sharpens iron. You definitely saw Kirby take that next step with Brian Branch. Brian Branch, finally, number 4, we get to Aiden Hutchinson. Big Aiden, your defensive stopper. He will be your defensive player of the year someday. We believe that. He's coming around as well. He will be number 1, but you'll see what I did and you'll guess. Aiden, number 2 overall, 2022. He deserves to be 4 on this list. He will be back. Big 97 in the dirt. How many sacks are you going for Aiden this year?
10.
Okay.
Oh,
Going
nice.
to playing it safe.
Off the surgery?
I just don't think this is the year. I think 26 is the year.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I was going to say less than 10. I think like 8 coming off the surgery.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with Pete. Less than
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Definitely less than 10.
I'm going to go 12.
12.
Really?
I'm going to go 12.
I love it. I hope to God you're right.
I think he'll be a lot better earlier than I think and we think. And I think he'll, I don't think
I
he'll
hope
be
so.
where he was last, but I think he'll be a lot better.
I hope
12.
so.
12 for
so.
me. All right. Number 3, it's the big man on the right side of the line. It's Panay Sewell. the
Number
eight.
3?
Yeah,
3.
I'm kind of shocked.
Okay.
Number 3.
Keep going.
You're right.
It's the age-old question. Is it Micah or was it Panay?
I think I know who
Now
number 1 is.
Panay now.
Panay now.
100%. So I'm putting him number 3 on this list, man. He is the leader of that offensive line, and he will be the leader of that offensive line moving to the future.
All right. Why don't you give me who number 1? We know who now we know there's 2 players left.
Well,
Yeah.
We know there's 2 players left. Why don't you go ahead and do it like a Miss Universe pageant where you announce the winner
Gotcha.
and then you say what the runner-up is.
Right.
Because if you say what 2 is, then we know who 1 is.
Right.
Okay.
But the winner between these
Good
2
call.
players, the best draft pick in Brad Holmes' history is...
here he is.
It's not very rare that you draft Hall of Famers in the 4th round.
Mr.
Yeah, man.
And stick
I
with
agree.
it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, look, he is
Yeah.
number 1 overall. He is a 4th round draft pick to a team that he didn't want to play for. And now, what has he done? He's done nothing but lead this offense, lead this team, be consistent. He is on a Hall of Fame track. You don't say that often. They say that about a lot of players. He'll be a Hall of Famer one day. BS. He just had a good 3-4 year run. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is solid. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to a Hall of Fame for his ballot. And he was a 4th round draft pick. He has to be number 1. So that makes number 2 the person that they said, don't draft running backs. Don't take them in the top 10. Don't even take them in the first round anymore because they're dead. Don't take them. Well, we took Jahmyr Gibbs, number 12 overall in 2023, and I think it has worked out pretty well for the Detroit Lions. I give that number 2, because to make that bold move. So,
I think that's a great analysis.
That was a good
and
analysis.
Coming up next, I want to expound upon that Jahmyr Gibbs situation a little bit, because do you believe that the way it worked out for the Lions by taking Gibbs, for NFL teams to say, you know what, whose rule was this anyway that you can't take a running back in the first round? Do you think that has helped players like Ashton Genty? Do you think that is a reason why he may be considered at 6? He may be considered at 4, because at that point you just say, you know what, screw it. We're going to take the guy that's going to affect every single play and make the defensive coordinator every single time game plan against this guy every game. Going to ask you that question. We'll do that next, but first a message from Planet Fitness.
Where your fitness is essential, and with over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it's the gym for you. It's the gym for everybody. There's no judgment. You come to Planet, man, you work out, you enjoy, you have a good time, you take your time. It's a clean gym. In fact, it's a squeaky clean gym. And also there's trainers with every membership that you have. So you can find your way around the gym. They also got the 30-minute exercise workout. They have 18 exercise equipments right there for you in the circle. Have a green and a red. When it's green, you go. When it's red, you rest. Very simple. You can get in shape at the Peril. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. We take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome, and I cannot wait. And I mean I cannot wait until 12:30 tomorrow, because that is when I have my appointment.
Hey.
Walk-ins welcome anytime, no doubt. But I do have a 12:30 appointment tomorrow
Miss Bethany?
with Bethany. hot lather neck shave, hot towel treatment, haircut, scalp massage.
Feeling like a new man.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? You think I get excited to go to the dentist?
Right.
Oh,
You
man.
get the gas here, too? They got the gas here?
Cannot
You
wait.
get the gas during your haircut?
Cannot wait.
You got to tell Chad to add the gas in.
Oh, man.
He wrote the schedule. He sent me the schedule.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, quickly before we'll continue on with the Lions. But did you see the hockey game last night between, I almost called them the Hartford Whalers, but the Vancouver Canucks and the Dallas Stars? Dallas was up 5-2 with a minute to go. Dallas is up 5. Think about this.
1 minute to go.
5-2 with 1 minute and 1 second to go in the game.
Wow.
Pull the goalie, goal. 5-3.
Come on.
30 seconds to go, score. Pull the goalie, score. 5-4.
Crazy.
4 seconds to go in the game.
Come on.
Another one.
Oh.
Boop, boop. Win in overtime.
Wow.
First team in the history of the NHL.
Which is very old.
To be down 3 goals with a minute to go.
Crazy.
Pull the goalie. They score 3 goals to tie it and then win it in overtime. The Vancouver Canucks beat the Dallas Stars in OT 6-5. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
How many times do you discuss within a broadcast? And last night I was saying, okay, it's 1-1 right now. I'd pull the goalie if I'm the Red Wings because
right.
you have to win in
regulation.
regulation last night to have a chance.
Yeah.
It's just when that is why you do that.
That's
you know
when you
what I mean. That is why you do that.
So that means you clearly don't trust your defense.
Well, whether you lose 6-2 or 7-2.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at this
doesn't
point
matter.
because you're trying to, yeah.
But you give yourself a chance. It's why teams in the NFL start going for it on 4th down at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Okay, give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
Your defense can't stop a nosebleed.
On
you
the
know what I
road?
mean? Yeah, it was an incredible situation.
I think that
real
leads
Mighty
into
Ducks.
what you're talking about. And what that is people get stuck in what is trending. People get stuck in what they say or what people are saying, what people are doing. You talk about Brad Holmes. People were saying don't draft running backs. But insert the Atlanta Falcons who draft Bijan Robinson, and then the Lions, they draft Jahmyr Gibbs, and now you're ushering in this new found or this rebirth of the running back position. You know what happened, Ryan, realistically? And I can admit it. Wide receivers start getting the huge bags. You got the Kenny Galladays and the Christian Kirks of the world, and they're getting all this money, and now they're truly becoming what people say we are, which I used to disagree with, which is the diva. And you're seeing the Brandon Ayuks. You're seeing the, George Pickens and all of the world. What did the running back position do?
Right.
Running back position got hungry. Running back position was like, yo, just give us the ball. Just feed us the rock. There's a lot more that we have in store. So now you're seeing these running backs, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Mr. Two Stacks himself. They're hungry. They're getting opportunities. They're getting money. And the team, they trust them. The running back position has always been a position that was trusted, respected, and I think that shift in the wide receivers for a second where it was Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, I think it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I think the running back is resurgent in that way. Don't be surprised if those wide receiver numbers, I'm telling you, that's why I was in favor of J-Mo for his own sake getting paid. That wide receiver number is going to go down. Like, it won't keep going.
That's
like
right.
It won't keep going north like it is. They will put a halt. And I know you're like, you can't put the genie back in the bag. Guess who can? Owners. Owners can always reset the market.
That's right. And, we were talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and what he's meant to the Detroit Lions offense. And any defensive coordinator, when you're playing the Lions, you have to make a game plan how to guard Jahmyr Gibbs. And really, his versatility, his speed, his ability to get out of the backfield, his ability to run between the tackles, his ability to catch passes out of the backfield. Ashton Genty feels like a version of Gibbs. He's got speed. He's got power. He can run between the tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And it feels like prior to the 2023 draft, there was that period between maybe 17 and 23, that 5-6 year period that you wouldn't take a running back in the first round of the draft. The Ezekiel Elliott's were very rare. Taking Ezekiel Elliott in the first round, very rare pick.
What happened? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say with the position, you know what happened. Running back has always been the easiest way to have success and help out who? Help out quarterbacks. Yeah. Like helping out a quarterback. You have a good running game, Ryan. Like I played in Seattle with Russell Wilson. Guess who our running back was? It was Marshawn Lynch. Like if you're a defense and you got to worry about beast mode, and he starts to get some runs on you, it makes it that much easier when you put the ball right here and then you pull it back down the field. So the running back, people have remembered that. It's like you got a good running back. You have a good ground game. Look at the offensive lineman's value. His stock is going up. The numbers are going up on how much they're paying offensive linemen again. They want to slow the game down. Tons of bad quarterback play. Oh, we just broke down the quarterback drafts, didn't we? Tons of misses in those drafts. You hit hits when you get an offensive lineman, when you get a running game, and I think they're starting to remember that. Detroit Lions kind of put that back on the back. Saquon Barkley, too.
How many since 2018? Since 2018 to 2022, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs taken in the first round in 5 years. Breece Hall, Najee Harris, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. Is Jonathan Taylor in there somewhere? Either way.
Taylor's a little older.
Yeah.
Taylor's like 19.
Yeah.
Very
few is what I'm getting at.
Right.
The second and third pick that you mentioned, that's why. You draft Najee Harris that does not work in Pittsburgh. He's no longer there for whatever reason, whether it was the culture or the locker room. He didn't work there. And then the third pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU, he didn't work in Kansas City. And everything works in Kansas City. Those were 2 drafts where it's like, do we even need running backs anymore?
Right.
Yeah, that was 2 bad drafts for the running back
But it
position.
did change with Bijan Robinson and certainly Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think it does when you see a player like Gibbs, like Bijan, hell, like Saquon, really. Let's go back. Let's just go to Saquon and what Saquon had meant to the Giants, a bad team, and what he meant to a good team and the Super Bowl champs.
I agree.
Saquon Barkley. Genty feels like that guy. And you don't care where you take him now. Whereas before you might take him not very high. You take him at 4, you take him at 6, you take him at whatever you got to do to get this player.
The only thing I question and wonder about Ashton Genty, check out his receiving yards. Check out is he catching the ball out of the backfield. Because those backs that are the Bijan Robinsons, the Jahmyr Gibbses, they catch the ball out of the backfield and they can run.
Perhaps, I believe he can do that.
Yeah.
I believe he didn't have to do that at Boise State. Wasn't asked to do that at Boise. Perhaps.
Okay. And that's fair because the way these running backs survives for your Bijan Robinson, well, you got a Taylor Algiers. For your Jahmyr Gibbs, you have a David Montgomery. So if you're going to draft a running back like Ashton Genty, if he's just a power back, you won't have him for long. It'll be the old adage, the running back wears down. You got to get another back so that you can have 2.
There's no doubt about that. Just looking at other, okay, here's some backs here. Saquon Barkley, Rashad Penny at 27, Sony Michel at 31. So, again, when you look at the back half of the draft, Seattle, 27.
Didn't work
took
out.
Rashad Penny.
He was
Sony
good,
Michel, 31.
Didn't work out.
But again, I'm talking about higher up backs. Even Josh Jacobs, taking number 24 overall. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 32 by the Chiefs. So while there were first-round picks, you have since 2018, you have 2 players now, Bijan at 8. Since 2018, 2 first-round running backs taken in the top 10.
And I think at the end of the day, what you saw from that is like it goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. The film speaks for itself. Like we knew Bijan Robinson was that good. You saw it in college. You saw it in Texas. You knew he was going to be special. So stop worrying about the position. Worried about how special is this talent. Same thing that Brad Holmes saw in Jahmyr Gibbs. You saw him at Georgia Tech. You saw he was capable at kickoff returns, running through the tackles, running around the tackles, the speed. And you see him in Alabama. So that's what they've done best of all is they've trusted themselves on things. They pulled the trigger in what they believe in. They haven't trusted analytics or the naysayers or they say this. We like this guy. We get this guy. And it works.
I did hear a draft analyst talk about, and forgive me, I don't remember which one it was, but said this draft is a draft full of starters. maybe not a draft full of stars, but a draft full of starters that is going to help a lot of NFL teams around the league beginning this year. Do you get that sense, Braylon? And just talk to me about the draft being, again, maybe not chock full of stars, but very full of solid starters. That is the kind of draft that can really help the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you need more stars than you need stars. I mean, like on any given team, you're gonna have more starters than stars. That's just facts. It feels like that. The average draft. Not the average draft. Wrong choice of words. When the draft is good, when the draft is full of stars like that, they talk about them. And there's a bunch of names mentioned. It's usually 5 to 6 quarterbacks. You got 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. You got a bunch of defensive ends that are elite. All had 10 or more sacks. Big schools, Ohio State. But you don't have that. You got some guys that can just really play the game, but they aren't necessarily stars yet. They haven't become stars yet. I think you got a lot of guys that are going to be starters. But you got some guys in there that can make some plays. Stewart is going to be a guy that's going to be a starter in this game, but maybe be a star. I think Graham is going to be a starter right away, but I think he is going to be a star. Ashton Gent. There's potential for some guys in this draft to be stars, but I think to your point, you look at this draft, it's like, who's the guy? Like every draft, 3 guys' names at the position. This one, it's like, okay, it's Ashton Genty, wide receivers. Who's the wide receiver? I mean, hell, is Travis Hunter the wide receiver, or is Travis Hunter the DB? So
talking about Travis Hunter, and you can't talk about Travis Hunter without talking about Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
And I wanted to ask you about Deion Sanders, who feels like he is kind of, I don't want to say made a 180. That's not accurate. But there was a story throughout the fall that Deion would have an influence because he himself said, look, I will not let him go to a cold weather city, or I will not let him be drafted by a team that isn't good, essentially, organizationally. And there was the talk of, is Deion too involved, or is this just an Archie Manning situation like he did with Eli? Deion Sanders has come out in the last couple of days and said Shedeur is fine wherever he gets picked. He is not going to get involved. He has kind of withdrawn that pledge to get involved or not let him go somewhere. Bless you, Pete.
Sorry. Yeah, thanks.
But Deion has essentially withdrawn that, taken that off the table. Wherever Shedeur gets picked is fine, and he's gonna be fine wherever he goes. Do you read that as Shedeur is sliding, and you don't want to be too confident? You don't want to limit Shedeur in where he can go, because where you get picked, what slot ultimately affects your money? Or do you believe that just the teams that can choose him are all fine? That includes Cleveland, that includes New York, that includes New Orleans, and that includes Las Vegas, really. How do you see that?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think in September, when you believe your son has a chance to go number 1 overall, your son's a quarterback, I think you start putting the fillers out there. I think you start kind of setting in motion, Ryan, what you want this to be like. So you remember what John Elway did in 1983, and he told his team, I'm not going to the Baltimore Colts. I'll go play for the Yankees. He remembered what happened in 2004 with Eli and Archie Manning. So he's throwing it out there to let you know, if my son ends up being the guy, the number 1 talent, we ain't going here, we ain't going there. Like we're gonna do this thing like they were able to do it. And I use that because I'm being like him. And then the season happens, and then all this stuff starts to happen during the draft process. And now there's so many shots at your son's skills, immobility, or his arm, or his vision, or this, that, and the third. And now there's arrogance, or there's this claim that came out from these anonymous guys. So now you see it as not number 1 for sure. Now it's like, well, maybe he goes 9 to the Saints. So now you have to, like you said, you got to shift. Because, look, we want to be in the NFL. Like, all that sounds good. Look, I want to go here, there, and the third. When you get on draft day, for me, it was April 23rd. And going into the draft, I had been posted as going number 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Draft day, I was like, man, I'm going to go to Miami if I don't go to When they didn't call my name Ryan Ermanni number 2 overall, I didn't care where the hell I was going. I just wanted to get drafted.
Right.
Like, after Miami didn't pick me, I mean, like, it was Cleveland next, But I was just ready to get off the board. I was ready to be a part of the NFL, and I think that's what the now process is. You start to see that slippage. No. Look, we were blowing smoke back in September. We were blowing smoke in October. Wherever you take us, we'll be happy to go there and start our journey in the NFL.
Just in the the effort to absolute fact here, it was just so I'm not just being way too vague. Deion Sanders in a podcast in March said, quote, "It's certain cities that ain't going to happen. It's going to be an Eli." That was back in March. Now, on the Skip Bayless show, here's the quote. If it's New York, it's New York. If it's Tennessee, if it's Cleveland, if it's the Raiders, if it's New Orleans, if it's any of those teams seeking a quarterback, I'm happy with it because I know what he's going to do for the organization. So that is a special level of confidence in Shedeur, I think.
Yeah.
That's not being afraid of what the organization is going to do to you. That is saying, okay, I know what you, Shedeur, are going to do for the organization. And look, anytime you're look, we talk about Shedeur Sanders a lot. Every sports show talks about Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders. Why? Because it is the sexiest thing to talk about when it comes to this NFL draft.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders is one of the most popular figures in sports history.
Yeah.
Not just in the NFL, in sports
Yeah.
history. He elicits an emotion. And most of the time, and I know there's negative people out there, most of the time it has been this beloved figure. I think it has been that.
I would agree.
Just based on my own sports fandom. That's not a scientific fact.
Right.
But just based on my own sports fandom growing up, we all love Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
When you
time.
think of Deion Sanders, Pete, what's the first thing come to mind?
Prime time, dude. Well, I think of dual sports.
Yeah.
He's the man, dual sports. Him and Bo Jackson, man. I love how athletic they are. Athletic and talent. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
First thing, Deion, for you.
You look good, you play good. You play good, they pay good.
Right.
Dude, let me tell you.
There it
If
is.
you want to know
First thing.
something about Deion Sanders, I used to wear the bandana under my helmet. Before they the coaches would rip it off. You know what I mean?
I remember
before
you used to
they
cut the
rip
sleeve
it
off
off.
the T-shirt. And
You know what I mean? Get this thing. Back then you couldn't get a water break when you were thirsty. You were a wuss.
Yeah.
Right? So
Oh,
keep that
yeah.
in mind.
I remember
Wow,
Coach Wow, you took me back.
Yeah,
That's a nice way to say it.
This is a much different era we're living in right
Yeah.
now. But go back to that, and you've got me wearing a bandana, trying to be like Deion under my helmet for like 3 seconds before it was ripped off or before it was noticed. Or anything like that. Wearing a visor. You get a visor because why? You want to be like Deion Sanders.
Right.
I wore the bandana.
The Damian
I wore the headband around my neck.
Yeah.
I wore I had a towel, had the visor.
And I'm sure,
Spat.
and I'm sure. Look, I'm sure there's a racial component to Deion Sanders as well today, and maybe why people don't like him today.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you that doesn't exist because it probably does exist. But nonetheless, he is as electrifying a player, an electrifying a coach, an electrifying a personality as you will ever come across.
Yes.
And if it's not for Shedeur Sanders, if it's not for Deion Sanders, this draft is one of the deadest drafts you have ever heard in your life. So Deion, Shedeur, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's funny because those end up being the drafts where like you look back like 10, 12 years and it's just like all pro after all pro after all pro.
Yeah.
But it goes back to saying it's defensive line, offensive line, heavy draft in the first 2 rounds. Defensive, offensive line. It's going to be interesting. But as it relates to Deion, what they hate about Deion, and when I say they, that's not a racial thing. The people that don't like Deion, this is just the people that don't, because every color doesn't like Deion. Is what it is. When people are that loud, Ryan Ermanni, you look for chinks in the armor. Like you look for chinks in the armor when people are that loud, that confident. You look for, where is he? Where is he doing something else wrong? Where is he not this at? Man of faith, married, doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs.
Great father.
He's a hell of a father, hell of a coach. The best, like one of the best players of all time. And he's instilling that information in the young men, and you see it. So they want to point out the little things they can't. Oh, he wears a hat in interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, he wears glasses during the game. Like that's little stuff because they can't point. They can't find anything. Yeah. That's why
everybody wants to play for Deion. They don't want to play for Colorado.
Or
they want to play
coach.
for him.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Or be a part of what Colorado is.
Yeah. Right.
And look at all the second chances he gives to people as well, like Warren Sapp and all that. That's just an example. I will say this: I don't mind if you hate Deion Sanders, just as long as you hate him for whatever. Like I think sports. One of the great things about sports is you have to hate somebody. Yeah. There has to be a villain.
Antagonist.
But
you gotta have a protagonist and antagonist.
I'll take Maz, for instance. Just being a New York guy, hated Tom Brady. To the point where just couldn't appreciate his career because he's a Boston guy. Yeah. We hated Michael Jordan. You hated LeBron James. You hate David Ortiz.
Brett Favre.
I hate Nelson Cruz.
He's a Tiger killer.
Tiger killer Nelson Cruz. You hate Brett Favre. You hate Aaron Rodgers.
Everybody has been beating your team's ass.
Right. That is the part of sports that I do think should absolutely have its place still, is you have to have room to hate people.
Yeah. So then Michigan State can hate you.
Exactly.
Right.
There it is.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
What else would they have?
Right. And I fully embrace the hate, although it makes me sad. I'm a very nice person. Yeah. Right? It does make me sad a little bit that they don't like me. But nonetheless, just a really interesting conversation about this draft because, again, I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of college football. If it wasn't for Shedeur Sanders, I'm not sure. And with the Lions, kind of having a late draft pick, I'm not sure I would be as interested specifically in talking about this draft, in seeking out mock drafts, in checking out what Mel Kiper has to say, what McShay has to say on his podcast, what Daniel Jeremiah has to say on the NFL Network. I am intrigued by all of this. Adam Schefter comes on with McAfee. Shedeur Sanders has fallen. How far will he go? What is the storyline with this NFL draft? There really is only one, and that is, where will Shedeur Sanders go?
Right.
That's the only storyline. That's the only major storyline. I mean, if you looked at it, and maybe that goes back to the quarterbacks too, and the lack of quarterbacks, but if you go back to last year, I mean, it's Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ. There was a lot going on.
I think because
Bo Nix.
I think because Shedeur is the pace setter for the draft. So I think it's everything that you said, but I think the other reason, Ryan, I think you add this to it, just makes it, is he's the point setter for the draft. What Cleveland does it too, and right now Shedeur Sanders was there the longest, and now it's moved to Travis Hunter, but I still think whatever. What they do, now the draft is started. Right. Now the draft becomes, and I think he's at the center. Do the Cleveland Browns take Shedeur Sanders at 2? Do the New York Giants take Shedeur at 3? If they don't, now here comes insert Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. What happens at 4? So I think he is the person where the needle moves from. And
there doesn't seem to be a lot of intrigue either. I mean, go back to when Trayvon Walker was taken 1 overall. That was a shock, kind of. It was
so many names.
It was Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah. Those 3 players could have been, in any particular order, taken 1, 2, and 5. You know what I mean?
Big offensive lineman, Cross, that got drafted by, I still remember Cross got drafted by, the Carolina Panthers. The New York Giants selected a offensive lineman there as well. Yeah, you're right.
It does feel like the top quarterback on the board is set. The top defensive end is set. The top wide receiver is set. The top running back is set. There's no competition. There's no intrigue.
That part, there's no competition.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't even heard about the wide receiver out of Arizona. I mean, I know he's supposed to be the one. He's slow as all get out. But I haven't even heard about him. It's been Travis Hunter. I don't even know if he's playing wide receiver.
He's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be
actually, depending upon where he goes.
Right.
And
that's what I'm saying. So Mason Graham. Mason Graham has been in the 5 spot in every mock draft that I have seen for 2 months.
Right.
Ryan, I have not heard his name mentioned on any outlet, whether it's ESPN, whether it's us, Well, maybe us. Nobody's talking about it.
Nope.
To your point, they only care about those players, those 4 players. I haven't even heard but one offensive lineman talked about in this heavy offensive lineman draft. So no
let me
parity.
see who is the best offensive lineman here. You don't see the number 1 offensive lineman coming out of Missouri. He's the number 8 on the big board, 6'4", 332. Wow. You got to go to 18 for the next one. So there is a clear offensive tackle that is number 1. I mean, there are so many players that are etched in stone here in terms of by position. Not a lot of competition. Top tight end has some separation. The Tyler Warren from Penn State over Colston Loveland. So it just feels like a pretty interesting draft. All right, guys, we're gonna. You said what?
No, I'm sorry. I that was me reacting to something. That's my bad.
Oh, that's okay,
sorry.
Pete. That's okay. We appreciate it. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break. Come right back. We do have a guest coming up at about 3:38, 3:40. We're gonna talk to you about something cool happening this weekend that is golf related. Carl Bentley, first tee Greater Detroit CEO, is gonna join us to talk about the 3rd annual Augusta Watch Party. We'll do that coming up momentarily. But I do want to get some NFL news and notes. Also, Tigers in action today. We can comment on that. I kind of wanted to wait until the end of the game, but we could also do that coming up next. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Masters Week, baby. I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. You need some new merch. It's only one place for you to go, man. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Go there now. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Dreaming of a new home, but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. To get this, you got to call Mark White and Associates today. That number, 248-290-8242, or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true.
Bo Rice hit a 2-run homer in the 7th inning. They're currently in the 9th inning. Bo Rice homered to make it 2-0. He homered off of Tyler Holton after we talked about how great Tyler Holton was. Came back out for the next inning, gave up 2-run homer, so the Tigers trail right now 2-0 to the Yankees in the top of the 9th inning. If you are watching live, if you are watching on demand or whenever you want, they probably lost.
I don't know, man. He's a cardiac kid.
You're calling
If somehow they pulled this win up, this would be the first time that they were 6-0, or 7-0 at home to start season like 1971. So I will have more faith. I was just looking at the top 10. Only team in our division.
Top 10 of the NFL draft?
In the NFL draft. The only team that picks in our division top 10, obviously, is Chicago Bears. Ashton Genty probably won't get to 10, so we won't have to worry about it. I know you don't care about Caleb Williams, neither does Anson Wells, but there is a player that I do not want them to draft, and it is who Mel Kiper has them drafting at 10.
Which is?
That is the tight end from Penn State, Tyler Warren. He's explosive, but he's very subtle in his game. His game is smooth, man. Like, if they didn't get a lot of production out of Cole Kmet last year, who's a decent tight end, pretty good tight end. You get Tyler Warren in there, and then you mix him with the wide receivers you have, and you added to the line this past offseason, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, and Drew Dahlman, two All-Pros and one Pro Bowler. Tight end could be dangerous. Like, tight end could definitely be dangerous.
Yeah, I think Chicago is going to be interesting. There's no doubt, man. Look, and I think it was Colin Coward who said this. He said, you don't need a whole season. You'll know what Caleb Williams will be under Ben Johnson within the first month of the season. 4 games, that's it. 4 games, and you will know exactly who Caleb Williams is under Ben Johnson. It's not going to take long for these two to either connect or not connect. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that's an assessment that I feel is somewhat accurate. We're going to know who the Bears are really early.
Yeah, I think you will, because, one, you were able to see what Caleb Williams went through last year, who he was last year. In his good moments, you were able to see a little bit of that. Now you're telling me that you add an offensive line, so no longer is there the excuse, well, he didn't have an offensive line, he wasn't protected. You got 3 a pretty good offensive linemen, one of the best in the business, talking about Joe Tooney. Also, you got your wide receivers, you got the tight end. Like, you have a squad, you have defense. So this will be a situation where you just got Ben Johnson, who's the new genius in the NFL. He's the guy that got the Detroit Lions going. If you can't have success from when they brought him in March until September, it's not going to happen.
You talk about these rookie quarterbacks and these quarterbacks going into their second year. You see what Atlanta's doing with Matt Ryan and Michael Penix? Atlanta is bringing Matt Ryan in to essentially mentor Michael Penix this year. This is from Dove here. This is
Shout out to Dove climbing.
Cameron Wolf. Cameron Wolf. We plan to get former quarterbacks in his ear working with him, including Matt Ryan, to get him here in the process of what it's like to be going through the whole offseason as a starter. I want to know what his arm routine is. I want to know what he's eating. I want to know where he's traveling. I want to know how many days a week he's working out, because we think this guy has so much promise, so much poise. That's Raheem Morris. That's what he told Cameron Wolf. It feels a bit strange, doesn't that? Isn't that it?
It's strange.
Like it almost feels like, do you not? I can understand bringing in Matt Ryan or bringing in other quarterbacks to say, hey, look, this is what worked for us. But it does feel a little bit strange, and that Raheem Morris is saying, we want to know. You don't know? Yeah. Do you question what he's doing?
Yeah.
Like,
has he had problems?
And, you know, yeah. I mean, I'm just I'd have to hear it, but it reads very odd.
Like you said, I would have to hear it. I don't think so. I think in this moment they just want him to be the best quarterback that he can be. Yeah, I think they want to be right about Michael Penix Jr. I think it's a lot of pressure on the organization. They chose to pick him even though they had Kirk Cousins and they pay him a lot of money. So I think they just want to get it right. I don't think there was anything behind it. I don't think this is a Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals situation where, he's not watching film, he's playing video games. I don't think that to be the case. I just think it's more pressure on him. So maybe his comments come off a little bit like that, but I don't think it's that. I just think that he's under pressure. I think that bringing Matt Ryan in is great. I think more organizations should do this. This terrible quarterback play that we're seeing in the NFL, like how many teams have guys like Matt Ryan? Most franchises have a guy that they can bring in, and I think they're doing right by him. He's somebody that just finished the game, still operates at a high level, and he can help him out. He can just see the game as he sees it. This says more about Kirk Cousins than anything.
I was just going to say.
More about Kirk.
Yeah, or he's on his way out.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Braylon a question. Bray, does it matter that because another interesting thing about the Matt Ryan thing, guys, he's right-handed. Am I correct?
Yeah,
and Penix is
Michael Penix is
left-handed. Does that have
left-handed.
anything to do with it, Bray?
No, because at the end of the day, you're still giving him the same read, still helping him with the same drills, same drop back. It's just on the opposite side. But not the mechanics, but the steps, the numbers, the ideology of it all is still the same. He's gonna watch film the same way. He's gonna prepare the same. So yeah,
I don't know if it matters which
That part
hand
I
he
was
holds
curious.
the fork in.
Yeah, I was just curious if a left-handed quarterback
That's a good
prefers to learn.
No,
on the
yeah, it's
left-handed.
a great question. It's
okay.
a great question. I just thought you guys didn't pick that up. I
Nah,
thought
I'm
it was
sorry.
I definitely.
that was a good.
Left-hand quarterbacks cost you touchdowns when you're going to the right. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Oh gosh. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about a great opportunity for you to get involved. Carl Bentley from the First Tee of Greater Detroit, the CEO there, is going to talk to us about the third annual Augusta Watch Party presented by Rocket Classic. That's
watch
happening
parties
this
for everything.
Saturday. We're going to do that next. But first, a message from Caesars.
That's right, everybody. You better scan that QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you make your first deposit and your first bet, if that first bet happens to lose, it won't, but if it does, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan the QR code above my head and use that code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, and we shall return.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Well, the picture is not on me because I do not know how to produce a show. There you go. Hey, attention sports fans. Do not miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays with us here on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to help keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944, gentlemen.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. We have Wednesday at the Masters on in studio right now.
It's a
Pretty
party
cool.
contest.
It is just that special weekend in Augusta, Georgia, and really around the country.
Are you 4 days?
I am weekend for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Weekend.
same.
Weekend for sure.
Look, I'll be full disclosure.
Okay.
I'm a Tiger Woods guy. If Tiger is in it, I'm a 4-day guy. If Tiger is not in it, I'm a weekend guy.
Right on.
Of course, he had the Achilles injury, so he's not going to play this year. I do like Wednesday is a good. I like watching on Wednesday. It's like a relaxed.
The older guys,
par 3,
family
the
day.
older guys, the families, all that stuff. But this weekend is a really cool opportunity if you want to get involved with a great cause. We invite everybody this Saturday, April 12th. There is a watch party. It is the First Tee Greater Detroit 3rd Annual Augusta Watch Party presented by Rocket Classic. Carl Bentley joins us now on the VMix line, the CEO of First Tee Greater Detroit. Carl, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Carl?
Hey, what's happening, Bray?
What's going
You
on?
doing all
brother?
right?
I can't complain,
Yeah.
man. How's the family, man? How's
Yeah.
everybody doing? It's been a minute.
Everybody's doing great, man. Thanks for asking. And we're excited to have a chance to chat a little bit about First Tee Greater Detroit and the opportunity to watch the Masters on Saturday. Traditionally, it's called Moving Day, so you got to make your move on Saturday to be in the game on Sunday, right?
100%.
We pull it together, and it's a great time to mix it up with some of your golfing buddies, as well as meet some new golfing buddies, and bring in some revenue for First Tee Greater Detroit. First Tee Greater Detroit sees about 700 kids a year throughout Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County, and we're soon to add Washtenaw County as one of our areas of focus, bringing kids, teaching them the game of golf, while at the same time teaching them the game of life, growing through challenges. We all have missed that putt and thought it was the end of the world, but the next hole, you got through it, right?
100%.
And yeah, it'll be this Saturday at the Pistons Performance Center over at Henry Ford from 3 to 7 p.m. There will be lots of golf type items for auction. Detroit Golf Club, TPC Michigan, and lots of other items that will be on display there.
And Carl, I want to point out, while people are watching us right now, we invite everybody to go to firstteegreaterdetroit.org. First T, spell it all out. First T, greaterdetroit.org, and you can navigate your way to the Augusta Watch Party. You could purchase tickets, and if you're so inclined, you can view the sponsorship packet and all that. We do have that information in the chat right now if you're watching on YouTube.
Great.
But what a great organization First Tee is. Over 150 chapters nationwide, and you really talk about that connection between golf and life and kids. That's a beautiful analysis and a beautiful kind of connection between kids and golf.
Absolutely, Ermanni. Golf is all about, I think, playing against yourself, right? You're going to build positive confidence. We teach kids to use good judgment, always have a game plan when you get up behind the ball. And life has all of those elements. We call it really, when you join First Tee, it's a game changer for how you go about planning your life. And we teach kids from 6 to 17, and our kids range throughout, as I indicated earlier, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb counties, and we're at as far as Rambler over in Macomb, and down in River Rouge, the River Rouge golf course. So there's lots of opportunities for kids to participate.
Carl, man, I appreciate what you do. I've always known you as the type of individual to care and give back, man, and give the wisdom and the pearls that have been put on you over life, man. God gave you, and you bestow them on everybody. So I always appreciate you for that. On a lighter note, though, just golf itself. I remember the first time that I watched Masters, Thursday to Sunday. It was 1997. We all know what happened. 1997, Tiger won his first one, and I was watching it door to door. We watched it at school. They had it on in school, so I was able to watch it Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday to Sunday, and obviously it ended in Masters tournament. What was your first one, and who ended up winning?
I lost you there for a second. Am I back?
Oh yeah,
You're back.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
So
yeah.
you heard the question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, I've been playing this game for, I don't know, probably close to 30 years now. But really, what brought me to the game, Braylon, was simply an opportunity to be out there with,
Shake
to
hands.
do a little business.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that we teach the kids, okay, about, about golf. Once you get through, as a young, start playing golf, okay, you can play it your entire life, okay, and it really brings you together. One of the programs we started this year was teaching caddies over at the Detroit Golf Club. We got about 24 kids that we taught them over the winter, how to stand, how to start a conversation, how to, just be, out there and make it a positive experience for the individual that they're golfing with. And if I would have learned that, years ago, I probably would be sitting in Braylon Edwards' chair right now.
There you go.
Hey, Carl, talk to me about this partnership. With the Pistons too, to have them, open their doors to that facility. Not everybody gets to go to that facility and check out what's happening there. A state-of-the-art facility that you will get to go and watch the Masters for a great cause. I mean, what better way to spend a Saturday?
I know, right? It is the relationship with the Pistons is awesome. They open up those doors to us. I could say 3 years in a row here. Hopefully we'll get it back again next year. And you get an opportunity to, shoot some hoops. We have a simulator there, a golf simulator that you can, test out your latest driver if you want to bring that along with you. And we have a putting range that you can putt on that we'll bring. But more importantly, like you say, Ermanni, you're in this facility. It's a phenomenal facility, and it's where the Pistons play. The ones that are going to go to at least the third round this year, right?
Hey, there you go.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
They definitely got an opportunity. They're playing some good basketball, man. And, we're excited about the Knicks. We think they definitely got a shot to beat the Knicks. Man, how they've been playing together, and they're aggressive and physical. They embody the old bad boys a little bit,
Bad boys, man. Get it in there, right?
There you go.
Way we get it done
Pause.
in the D, right?
That's right.
Shout out to Detroit. What up, though?
So, Carl, final thought. And again, we invite everybody. We have the website in the chat right now. Check out firsttgreaterdetroit.org and check out the Augusta Watch Party. Who do you got this weekend in the Masters? Let's end with that. Give me a top three. Give me a top three.
Yeah, I don't want to wish any bad luck on the guys, so I'm not going to call their name.
No cursing.
I'm with you, right? I'm with you, right?
I got my three.
But yeah, please go out to firsttgreaterdetroit.org and buy your ticket. And I guarantee you it'll be a great time spending just chatting up about golf and watching those top three that Braylon's going to kick out later on make their move to be in that last pairing. firsttgreaterdetroit.org. I appreciate you all giving us the time to be on your station today.
Absolutely.
Not a
Thank
problem.
you for that.
Absolutely. No problem at all. It's our pleasure. And again, we invite everybody, even if you have plans this weekend and you cannot attend this specific event, we invite you to check out that website. There are plenty of events throughout the summer, ways to register your child if you think, if you believe that you have a child that might be interested in this, and plenty of ways to volunteer and maybe even donate your money if you're so inclined. So thank you so much.
We'd love to have
really
their money.
appreciate it. Yeah. Get it. I love this
Carl,
guy.
appreciate talking to you. Tell everybody I said hello, and take these with you. Rory will get first place. Colin Morikawa is getting second place, and Aberg is getting third.
No self.
That's what we got.
All right.
But he didn't say it. I said it. He didn't say it. I said it.
Thank you. Thank you for voicing that, because I would have given them bad luck. So
There you go. No problem.
Thanks,
That's
Carl.
tell
We
everybody say
appreciate
hello.
it. All the best.
appreciate
Anytime,
you guys. Take care.
anytime
Thank
you got anything else, let us know. We'd love
We'll
to have
come
you
back
back.
for our game changer in August. Thank you.
Would love that. Would
Got it.
love that. Thank you,
Good
Carl.
talking to you,
Carl Bentley, the CEO
Mr.
of
Bentley.
First Tree, Greater Detroit. Just a tremendous individual, doing the Lord's work, really, because anybody that works with kids and tries to get kids on the right path, you're okay in my book, man.
Yeah.
These kids out here, I'm telling you, I got 2 of them. They need,
Same.
they need a little Carl Bentley in their life.
Can I
Can
I say one thing about
yeah.
that, if you guys don't mind? He brought up the caddy program, and as you know, Maz's youngest daughter, Maddie, just got the Evans Scholarship through the country club that she worked for.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful program that the members create a scholarship for the best caddies who not only prove it on the course, but prove it in the classroom. And you can make a really doggone good living as a caddy.
Oh, God,
it is
yes.
a freaking great job, especially if you pick it up as a young kid. So that was going to be my question, guys, if you didn't ask it about a caddy program or something like that, because if you can't golf and get into the hole, like, make hole-in-ones, you can make a pretty doggone living if you know the game. So I'm glad they offer that program.
No doubt, and it's a great summer job as well. And as you were saying, just the ability to meet people. And to meet successful
right
people,
people.
meet the right people, and Ricky, that's a really
That's
big
what
part
it's
of it.
about.
Right people.
You talk about Maz's daughters, and they've all caddied, and they've all.
And I did it for 9 years.
You
Yes.
did as well. You meet people maybe you wouldn't otherwise meet, and just those simple conversations. I say simple conversations. Those simple conversations that you have on the golf course over the course of 4, 5, even 6 hours sometimes.
That's correct.
Those are meaningful. Those are lasting, and you talk about this. So it's a great cause, and we invite everybody to check it out. By the way, Tigers right now, they have 2 on in the bottom of the 9th. They are down 4-0. So, look, I don't know if they're going to come back and win or not. It doesn't matter. We're running out of show here, so I don't know if this one will be over by the time that we get off the air, but the idea is this team just doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Down 4-0 in the bottom of the 9th. It's Torkelson walks, and then you got back-to-back strikeouts. Then Baez gets a base hit. Now Trey Sweeney up to this team does not quit. It was 3 games in the Dodgers series. Yeah. It was right up until the end in that Seattle loss.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
In the first game against the Yankees was just like this.
They should have beaten Seattle in the one game they lost in that series. And even today, it's another situation where Sweeney's got a full count, not to do a little bit of a watch party with you, but a little bit of a watch party with you.
It's exciting.
Full count, you're 1 ball away from putting the tying run at the plate.
Right.
I mean, that's what this team is all about right now. It's a special team. I truly believe this is the best team in the American League. If they can get healthy, if they can get Parker Meadows back,
fouls it off.
This staff, just everything about this team, I just love this team.
Are they Rocky too? They just keep coming after you.
Full count.
Right?
Now we got a full count.
So Pistons off tonight. Red Wings off tonight. So, watch a show tonight. There's nothing going on. There is nothing to do. Maybe be a good friend, a good spouse, a good boyfriend, a girlfriend.
You walk them.
Yep.
And here we go, tying run at the plate.
It's crazy.
I mean, this team is incredible.
Apollo's holding his ribs right now. He's
Right?
holding his ribs.
I mean, it is insane. This team will not go away.
He's holding his ribs.
Wow. So here we go. Bases loaded.
Oh, this is good.
It's a conference at the place.
Great. Of course, they don't want to blow it.
And who's up at the plate? One of the hottest Tigers, Zach McKinstry.
Of course.
Right?
He could put the icing on the cake right here.
That's right.
Dude.
Oh, my goodness. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm not going to do a play-by-play for
Right.
you. So
You want to so bad.
I want to.
so bad.
Look at his face. He wants to
I
so
want to
bad.
do a play-by-play for you.
Oh no, I forgot. You about to? Yeah, you about
But
to late.
I'm not going to spoil it for everybody. Turn the game on. Heavyweights coming up at 5. Do they win or not?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes.
You're going
Come
with
for a
Tigers
bye.
win.
Yes.
I'm
It's Rocky 2.
All right, guys, have fun. Do the play-by-play. They want the play-by-play.
All right.
They want the play-by-play.
The people want the play-by-play.
If you want, man.
I mean, I don't know. We still
Right. He's so torn.
Tigers. Okay,
so
just
torn.
do a little bit of a watch party. What the
All
hell?
right.
Quick watch party, huh?
Quick one.
You do
It's
a
all good.
5-minute watch
Yep,
party.
I got the. Yeah, I'm pulling it up here.
Okay. 5-minute watch party for the Tigers. Of course,
Oh,
I
this
can't
is
get it up
crazy.
on my screen. There's no
So
watch
what
party.
happened?
2
What I
outs.
missed? Is it an errant throw? Was that what this?
Ball in the dirt. 1-1 count.
All right, Pete, you got it because I can't get the game
Ball
up
in
on
the
my
dirt.
screen.
2-1 count.
Put the screen. Go ahead.
Got it, brother. Hang on. 2-1 count.
We got.
I got the MLB app up.
Okay,
That's what I'm
hold
looking
on.
at too.
Hold on. Come over here.
We got a 2-1 count right now on Zach McKinstry with Williams on the mound for the Yankees. 2-1 pitch coming up right now to Zach McKinstry as he waits.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Go, Zach.
As he
the
waits.
actual video?
It is
Party, baby.
the the fourth pitch is coming up here.
Come on.
Eventually.
Let's go.
Now let's go. Eventually. The fourth pitch will eventually be coming up here.
You have a.
I can't bring up the video because
no,
they
I'm
block
saying
it.
you have a PA voice.
Oh, I got you. I appreciate it.
Are you watching the 3D
PA
thing?
voice. Where's the next pitch? Come on, baby.
It's sort of rough.
Pop up.
Oh, 4-3.
Oh, we
we
got
have
it.
a 3-run hit.
That's crazy.
Three-runner.
Oh, and he's safe at second.
Zach McKinstry with 3 RBIs.
Yes.
Let's go.
This is like a
Singles on a
3D.
line drive.
That's crazy.
Javier
let's get that out of
Baez,
there.
Trey Sweeney, all score. Zach McKinstry
it.
is now on second base. 2 up.
Pete,
Justin
switch
Henry
it.
Malloy. I got you, boys.
There we go. We're having a little impromptu
Yeah, why
watch
not?
party,
Yeah,
baby.
look at this, baby.
This little view they got is so dope on here.
That's pretty good stuff there.
This is good.
How about Zach?
Look
Now
at
Justin Henry Malloy at the plate. That's
Let's
awesome.
go.
We have a
I'll
pitching
visit,
change
huh?
now. Pitching change. Mark
Yo, you would
Leiter
have to.
Jr. is coming in.
All
Mark
right, well,
Leiter
then I'm out.
Jr.
Sorry for the
Nah, I
pitching
got-
change.
So there's going to be a pitching change coming up, everybody.
Hold on.
We have a pitching change.
Let me walk back here.
You got it. You got it, Ryan. I got you, man. You're good.
All right. Now,
Now.
we're going to end the show. It's over. It's over. Go watch the Tigers. Go watch the Tigers. 4-3 tying run on second. Pitching change. Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow.